Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Mango the Goat. This is IIP. IIP stand for Involuntary Immigrant Podcast. The nigga versus Negro. The nigga now has all the negative stereotypes the white man placed on the Negro. Now here's some real shit. The truth is, stereotype of the niggas in the modern times is really the Sambo or the bullet coon. If you're not familiar, look up the Sambo or the bullet coon. Now this the Sambo or the bullet coon are the olden days. Now the examples in the entertainment field and even in the buck broken. You're not familiar with the buck broken is, look that up also. Now, here's where we at. The elders are ashamed of the nigga so much that the word and the culture disappoint them. But the word Negro does not. Why is that? Now, although they know it derives from the same foundation, why is that? So, to be a Negro, we're going to talk about when our elders carried the Negro. To be a Negro, that shit once carried pride amongst our people, man. Like it was pride. We had the Negro leagues, the Negro communities, the Negro bus. This our shit, and we said that shit, The Negro went through more brutality and oppression than any other people on this planet. Any other people on this whole planet Earth. You can't name nobody that went through more brutality, more obscene, just ungodly shit than the Negro. And yet still, our people found a way to be great. They found a way. They found a way and they fought and built a nation that is one of the greatest nations ever. I always hear comparisons between I had a motherfucking African tell me one time, oh, you watered down, we the real version. And I always say, well, why y'all didn't build America over there then? Y'all coming over here now. You know what I mean? Granted, I love all black people of the world, but it's something special about that Negro, that ADOS, that FBA, that involuntary immigrant. It's something special about them motherfucker. I personally feel like God is with them. That's my personal belief. But I do want to say, I also believe this. I believe the other societies tricked us off our Negro blessing. They influenced us that Negro was a bad term. It was oppressive slang. And they did this because the Negro, hear me out, the Negro is indigenous human to the Americas. The only indigenous human to the Americans. I'm sorry, the only indigenous humans to the Americas, right? And that's why they had to influence us to that, because a lot of people want to take our spots. Now, I'm not on none of that great replacement theory, but it's trying to trick us off our blessings, right? They trying to trick us off that blessings of being the original indigenous human to the Americas by way of Operation Eradication, Willie Lynch, other mental, physical, and chemical warfare techniques. And this shit is all documented. You can go find it. Look it up. I'm not going to tell you. Look it up. I'm not bullshitting you. But the question is, why is being called a nigga, Negro, or Nigra have the power to feminize the black man and make him so emotional? One of the reasons why is because we don't take ownership of the word. We don't take ownership of the word our ancestors carried and built a legacy on. Instead, you know who do? Corporations. They capitalize off the name while creating a negative false definition of what it truly means to be a nigga, Negro, or Nigra. Especially through rap and rappers. Now, our music went from love to war. All while that's going on, you notice our sons go from learning from fathers to learning from single mothers. Our communities go from communities to neighborhoods, and our wise elders turn into just old hating ass niggers in the youth of in the eyes of our youth. I've seen more welcome home from prison parties than I've seen graduation parties. I've seen more look how fresh my baby is the first day of school pictures than cap and gown pictures. But people say, we not niggas. We come from kings and queens. And quite frankly, that could be true. But so fucking what if you can't name one? Not only that, but all the niggas can't come from kings and queens. It's impossible. Now, we definitely come from kingdoms, and especially we definitely come from kingdoms of civilized people, no doubt. But the colony plantations created the nigger. Then the nigga turned around and created America. Let me run that shit back, please, Mango. You saying too much. The colony plantations created the nigga. Then the nigga turned around and created America. 3 times. My grandma used to say great things come in threes. The colony plantations created the nigga. Then the nigga turned around and created America. You're welcome. With that being said, to swap your Negro title for that of African American makes you a second-class citizen by way of title, while the word Negro makes you America's creator. On top of that, a little common sense people fail to acknowledge is the kings and the queens we allegedly came from, we allegedly came from before, must have been shitty leaders or they betrayed the fuck out of us. Cause the white boy was an absolute loser before the nigga hit the Americas. I say that shit again. The kings and the queens that we came from. Everybody said, we came from kings and queens. Okay, well, they must have been shitty leaders or they betrayed us because the white boy was a loser. He was not that special where he could have conquered all us. No tribes could have conquered all that. There has never been a conquering like that in the history of the world. So it had to be multiple African countries that worked together in unison to destroy an empire and send us the fuck over here. Or you saying the white boy is really super. And they weren't. They weren't. These motherfucking Europeans were losers. They were losers. So, and give you a prime example of that, I did an episode a while back. I did the Big Mama versus Abuela, and then I did the other one where I was talking about the American Dream. The American Dream is what it was called. And I was talking about everybody who immigrates here is a loser except for the involuntary immigrant because they didn't leave because they were forced to come here, right? And a lot of y'all was like, why you talking about the Mexicans? Don't talk about my abuela. And then, I didn't do that shit to talk about other minorities. No. Y'all trying to take our spot or we trying to take y'all's spot, but we all at the bottom. I went straight to the top with that when some of y'all didn't catch it. Because the original immigrant to the Americas, the original voluntary immigrant to America, the first loser was the white boy. They couldn't make it in Europe. Whether it was religious, whether it was whatever the fuck it was. They were sending motherfuckers to Australia and motherfuckers was fleeing to the new world. Y'all seen Pocahontas. I don't know how real that shit was, but they was fleeing to the new world. They were losers. So how the fuck these losers just capture kings and queens? Think about that shit. So that means the kings and the queens that we so much look up to either betrayed us or they were really shitty kings and queens. Now, I can say we come from kingdoms, but it's going to be one or the other. So, with that being said, the white boy was an absolute loser before the niggas hit the Americas. Now, when the niggas hit the Americas, as I said, the colonies made the nigger. But the Negroes made America. So much that other white boys wanted to start coming and capitalizing. And then other minorities wanted to come over and start capitalizing. Then it came down to our own people from the motherland wanted to come over and start capitalizing. So with all that being said, I'm telling you, the Negro, don't dispose of that word. Now, I know some of y'all gonna say, well, Negro, that's different than nigga. All that shit the same. All of it's the same. Like, it go niggas, Negro. The white boy couldn't talk that good back then, so he was trying to say Negro, and he said Negro. And then the Negro turned to the nigger, and, well, the Negro turned to the nigger, and then the nigger turned to the nigger. It's all the same motherfucking thing. Some of y'all be like, I let the white boy say nigger, but he can't call me a nigger. Shut the fuck up. All that shit come from the same fucking thing. It's just we talk Ebonics. We don't really pronounce them ERs. Do you say, hey, take me to McDonald's so I can get a burger? Or do you say, hey, take me to McDonald's so I get a burger? Nigga, be real with yourself. But I'd like to thank y'all for listening. I just had to get this up off my chest.
Do you remember writing in your diary that freedom is the freedom to say 2 and 2 make 4?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says it is not 4 but 5, then
4.
180. How many? 190. How many fingers, Winston?
4. 5. 4. Anything you like. Only stop the pain. Stop.
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice. Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
or without choice.
Person who immigrates.
Involuntary.
Immigrant.
Done contrary
Definition
to
1.
or without choice.
Person who comes
Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice. Done contrary to or without choice.
Definition 1. Immigrant. Definition 1. Plant or unknown. Person who established. Plant or unknown.
Can't tell a finger.
Unknown. Established.
Trying to free your mind.
What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you got to ask yourself, the white population of this country's got to ask itself, north and south, because it's one country, and for a Negro, there is no difference in the north and the south. There's just a difference in the way they castrate you.
Who taught you to hate yourself?
Involuntary. Done contrary to or without choice.
Immigrant. Definition 1. A person who immigrates. Definition 2. A plant or animal that becomes established where it was previously unknown.